Hi, everybody. My name is Divya. I have come from India, and I am going to tell you a little bit about the Indian market and what BigC really does. So basically, we started as a bike taxi service. India is a huge market wherein mobility is really a big issue because public transport was not really able to keep up with the demands of the consumers. There was a huge need to fill up the last mile gap because there was really very few options available on the organized mode of transport for last mile in India. This was an issue that I personally was grappling with when I was working with BCG. I left my job. I realized that this is something that needed to be addressed. And me, along with my husband, we started this venture wherein we decided to launch a bike taxi service on the Indian roads for consumers. When I say bike taxi, it really essentially meant it was a petrol-based two-wheeler with a driver, and one person could sit behind him. The whole thing could be booked on an app, and this was available for men and women both. It was a service which was sort of gender classified in the sense that, if you register yourself on the app as a lady, you would only be ferried around by a lady, because I felt that, women in India would feel more comfortable that way, being, having the option of mobility by women for women, and so on for men. Because I felt that, essentially the scooter is, you have a proximity to the driver, and not everybody knows how to really ride a scooter themselves, so we had drivers in place. Today, BigC has grown to about 1,000+ driver network across 6 cities in India, and we have a lot of women and men working on our platform, essentially providing mobility service on a bike taxi platform, as well as 4 other services that we provide service on. We have also developed in-house, dockless, keyless bikes, which are operated, using a screen on the bike, essentially. And I will show you a video which will also reflect what it really is, this particular product, which is a rental bike. BigC is all about two-wheelers, so there's no four-wheelers involved at all, because what we realized was that Delhi, a population of, you can imagine, 20 million people in Delhi alone, highly dense population, 7,500 people per square kilometer. It's really, jam-packed a city. We needed to improve the occupancy rates on the roads. We needed to make sure that, the roads are being used in the more efficient manner, so two-wheelers was the idea. How we did it was essentially, we decided to, as I said, bike taxi service, and then we diversified into other services. We also have a B2B service wherein we deliver parcels for large e-commerce companies, but alongside that, we have a hyperlocal delivery service wherein anything can be ordered in and around your place, 3 to 5 kilometers, anything, it could range from groceries, medicine, dairy, food, pick up a laundry, drop off courier, anything that needs to be done on a two-wheeler can be done on a two-wheeler, is also available on my platform, on the tech platform that we have. Another service that we have, as I said, is rental, and there is rideshare also available. So I'm going to be talking about today the last mile lessons when designs for women, India's last mile lessons. So we started this service basically for men and women both. And here you can see a woman driving another woman. And these were the problems that we were basically looking at, as I've already explained to you. There was not enough transport options being available in the country, which were on the organized mode of transport. It was all, dealing hands, which was not very efficient. People wanted more options to be available. Safety for women was a big issue, huge issue in India. Women, commuters told us that they never felt so safe traveling in four-wheelers on radio taxis because, essentially when you travel in a car, the controls lie with the driver. He can lock the windows, he can lock the doors, and there have been many, many instances of harassment, rape, or unfortunate things which have happened with women customers in four-wheelers. or in public transport. So two-wheelers was an idea which was very well received by the Indian women because it's an open mode of transport, and they were driving, they were sitting behind another lady, So essentially, they felt very comfortable sitting behind a girl, and it really panned out really well. Also, we were employing a lot of female pilots for this particular service, so that means we were generating employment options in a very unconventional sector. Women were not known to be in the taxi business before this, but now not only were they in the taxi business, but also on a two-wheeler as opposed to a four-wheeler. So it was very unconventional, and basically what I meant to say was that India's female labor workforce participation rates, there's a big chance it could improve, in such cases. We need to understand the particular patterns of mobility when it comes to women. Women have very different mobility patterns compared to men. And unfortunately, every service in the world, when it's designed, mostly, the one thing that they keep in mind, that they bear in mind is, the young male guy who is, in his 20s, 30s, in a job, he's considered to be the ideal consumer, which is not true, because the rest of the 50% of the population, which is women and children and elders and all, they need to be considered. It has to be an inclusive thought when you design a service. And women have very different mobility patterns, is what we realized. Women still do the lion's share of household upkeep, household work, taking care of children, elders. They often needed to do errands, travel with children, travel with elders. They usually never traveled, long distances as men usually did. They usually did not focus a lot on vehicles which could go very fast. Speed was not something that they were looking at. Household responsibilities, frequent trips, and multiple stops to make sure, they could carry groceries or something, pay the bills, take the kids along or something. So these were specific mobility patterns that women, were displaying, which was very different from men, And a service, when it needs to be designed, it has to be more inclusive so that it could, it could accommodate women also. So this is what we were trying to do at BigC. Women were facing certain issues, as I've already mentioned, harassment, expensive, since they make multiple stops, since they were, stopping again and again, and the multiple trips that they were taking. Obviously, cost was a consideration. The transportation options were not available at times. It was inefficient waiting times. Suppose you need to get something delivered. It had to be done efficiently. It had to be done fast. Otherwise, let's say a woman needs milk to be delivered at home. She can't wait till the next day for it to be delivered. It has to be efficient. And there was no service which was designed in this manner. So solutions that we provided could help empower women, because we were generating employment for a lot of female drivers on our platform and male drivers. It was a gender customized service. It was environment friendly bikes. We operate a lot on e-bikes, not exclusively, but a lot of our bikes are e-bikes, and in one app we have all the solutions in one place. So this is what our app looks like. These are the services that we had on our platform. The rental solution, I'm going to give you a demo of that in a video, and this is the team. So I'm going to quickly request the video to start, probably with this. Yeah. Thank you. So basically, BigC is all about having an optimization per square kilometer based on a driver network as well as on a rental solution. The best part about the rental solution is that I'm proud to say that we're probably the only one who's developed an in-house biometric solution, which means that even if you forget your phone at home, as long as you don't forget your finger at home, you can still use the bike. If you spot it, you have to make sure that you register biometric, and obviously you give us the access to your data, and that's it. We register your finger, you spot the bike, you use the biometric to operate the bike, and and you can, there's a touch screen. You can just end the ride over there, and it will get locked, and that's it. Good to go. I mean, you don't even need your phone. So the technology should be such every time that it is as efficient that even if you don't have it around you, it still works. As long as there's money in your wallet, in your app, the money gets automatically deducted on this ride, for which you don't even need your phone. So for that, I'm very proud to say that this is probably the only solution in the world right now which operates in this manner. Everything else which is taken care of, these bikes are petrol bikes as well as electric bikes on the dockless variety. And as soon as you book the rental, we ask you whether you're open for ride share. If you are, you can also take a ride while riding to your destination. So that means that you can even earn while taking a rental. So that's exactly what this is, and many other services on the same platform. So thank you so much.